guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my March 2024 TBR, or just a big pile of possibilities of things I'd like to read for a couple of readathons. My reading has been very much, I've been focusing on rereads. It's just because of stress with the house, and I just can't always focus on new books when I'm in this kind of mood. I think I'm coming out of that, so I'm hoping that some of these books will get read, but I can't guarantee that I will read any of the books that are going to be on this TBR. So this is really a pile of possibilities if my mind will let me. So we'll see what happens. So before I talk about the readathons I'm going to do, I do have one buddy read, which is Secret Life of a Vampire by Carolyn Sparks. This is book number 6 in the Love at Stake series. So we are continuing our reread. I'm doing this as Berna at Berna's Bookish Adventures, and we've been really enjoying this just fun paranormal romance series with vampires and other things. And this is the next one. I don't even know who we're talking to. So we'll see what happens. I don't even know. I don't know who the characters are. It's just the next book in the series. This one has a step back. Look at that. Anyway, I do also have the audio from my library just in case. We are going to read this the first week of, we're going to start on the weekend of March 2nd and then read it for a couple of, 5 days. So we'll get it done early in the month. So, but we're both looking forward to it just because these are fun. They're funny vampire romances, so we'll see what happens. I don't know anything else beyond that, but I'm looking forward to the buddy read. So that's the only thing I have to read, and that's already, I've got it planned, and I have the physical, I have the audio, whatever I feel like reading. It just depends on my mood, because I've been fluctuating between weeks of a lot of audio and then other weeks are all physical. It's going to be interesting this whole month. So let's talk about March of the Mammoths. So I have participated in March of the Mammoths, or Marching Mammoths, for years now, since it started. I don't even know what year we're on, because I've had some good years and some fail years. So this year I'm hoping to at least finish one Mammoth and maybe start another one. I have 4 Mammoths already or 4 really big nonfiction books that I really want to finish by the end of the year. So I'm hoping to get one finished and maybe another started, so that at least I'm working my way, because I haven't got a chance to even get to these. And a couple of the Mammoths that I'm going to talk about also are fantasy. So I have nonfiction and fantasy Mammoths. So we're going to see how this goes. So you've given me an option and what would work better. Also, 2 of them, one nonfiction, one fantasy, as ones I've started already. But I mean, they're Mammoth books. It's just I have not completed them yet, so I'm going to count them. So maybe I'm slightly cheating, but I don't care. The point of March of the Mammoths, which is put on by Jason at Old Blues Chapter and Verse, is, and I'll have his video linked down below, is to read books over 800 pages. Sorry, I should have said that first. Anyway, so the first of my nonfiction Mammoths that I have started, but I would love to finish, is Red Comet, The Short Life and Blazing Art of Sylvia Plath by Heather Clark. I have read under 200 pages of this, so it's like I probably have like 700. Yeah, I have about 700 left to read of this. But again, it's a Mammoth. I've already started it, but I started it a couple of years ago. I probably will be able to start where I left off. It just got too much at the time, and I just put it down. And I have it on audio as well, which I don't have the narrator yet, so I'll have to get that back on. I usually keep a little sticky note on the back of my books when I do that, but this one's been been sitting there like taunting me that I haven't read this. Again, Sylvia Plath, it was an author and poet, and I just find her very fascinating, and I've been wanting to read this book since it came out. And again, I started it a couple years ago and got, again, just under 200 pages, and then I just put it down. So this is what I want to finish of the nonfiction, and it is on my list of 4 nonfiction I want to read this year that are all very massive, but related to writers. So that is one of one of the nonfiction books I'd like to read for Mammoths. The other one I would like to start, if not, get pretty far into, is the Brontes, Wild Genius on the Moors, The Story of a Literary Family by Juliet Barker. This one I do have to read physically. There is no audiobook that I could find. So this one is one I want to at least start in March. I don't expect this one to be completed. I'm hoping to get Red Comet done. That's my hope, because it's been on my TBR the longest. This one I only bought year before last, so about 2 years I've had this on my TBR, but I want to get to this. Now that I've read all the Brontes novels, I am ready to read this and learn more about the family. So I do want to get to this year. It's also one of my not big nonfictions that are about writers that are on my list this year. So I do want to definitely make a dent into this, but this will be a physical read. So this one I might try to read, a little bit every day at home. We'll see how this goes. I'm not sure, but because I just don't think I could read this like all at one time. I might just have to break it up and read part of it. And again, get it started. This is one of the ones I might start in March and not finish it in March. Does that make sense? Because Jason is very clear about the fact is that we're starting 800-page books and we don't have to finish them within the month. We just finish them on our own timeline. But that's why I'm bringing, as I said, some of the ones that I've started that I haven't finished, because they are Mammoths. I just haven't finished those yet, and I want to get them off of my currently reading. So the first of the fantasy is not going to be a surprise. This again is definitely over 800 pages because it's 1100 pages altogether. And that is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. Because of my mood and things that have happened, I've not been able to come back and get back into this. I am 400 pages in of 1100 pages. So again, it's another 700 pages left, but the book itself altogether is a mammoth at 1100. So I am going to count it again because I'm trying to finish my mammoths, not just start them. So my goal is to actually get back to Way of Kings and finish this. And I've wanted to all month February. I looked at it all month just wanting to read it, and I just could not pick it up yet. I was just rereading so much because of my stress levels. I'm hoping I can get back and finish this. Again, with book 5 coming out in the series, I was really hoping to get to the point I would be ready for book 5. Now it's not looking like that's going to happen. I'm still hoping to at least get through The Way of Kings and Words of Radiance by the end of the year, and maybe the novella Edge Dancer also. But, I'm not going to force this. I do want to at least get through The Way of Kings, and it's not The Way of Kings' fault. It really is. I have not read as much epic fantasy in the last few years, and I was trying to get back into it, and I don't know if this was the way to do it. So, I buy a lot of it. I just don't read as much as I want to. So anyway, this is my, this one, again, is the first book in the Stormlight Archive. If you don't know, I don't know why you wouldn't know, but this is a big epic fantasy series. And I don't know how else to explain it beyond that, because again, I'm really enjoying a character. There's some characters I'm not so sure about. Other ones I really like. I'm just not sure how their story's going to go. I feel like I'm going to get hurt here really soon. It's one of those. So anyway, that is the fantasy one I would like to complete that I've already started. That's definitely classified as a mammoth, even though I don't have mammoth amount of pages left. I've already started it, but I do want to finish that one. And if I get time, and I would really like to read this book. It's been on my TBR for years. I own, I think, an ebook. I think I own the audiobook. And then I bought a physical book thinking this is going to make me read it. But I haven't read it yet. And I'm really curious because I know that it's kind of mixed reviews of who likes it and who doesn't. So I'm not sure where I'm going to fall. But I do have The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon on my TBR. I think this one is... It's just over 800 pages, I think, is what it was. It was like barely, like 804. But it counts. Anyway, so this is again one I would like to start. I don't know if I would finish it in the month if I'm able to do the other mammoths. This is just one that's been on my TBR, one of the longest books that have been on my TBR the longest. I have a lot of big books. I just have to get to some of them. And again, it's not the size that really puts me off. It's just I've not been in an epic fantasy mood in the last few years, even though I kept buying it. So I'm hoping to get back into it. And again, with the prequel that came out Was it last year? You know, I really want to know if I want to get into this series. And again, I have not read anything by Samantha Shannon, so we're going to see how this goes. This is, I think it's a world with dragons and assassins are coming, and then there's some secret society. I don't know. Well, I think it's Sapphic is about all I know. But in dragons of some sort. So anyway, I know a lot of people love it, and I know a lot of people didn't like it. So we'll see how that goes for me. But those are the mammoths that I would like to get to. Not all of them maybe, but maybe get partials of everything. I would like to finish the 2 that I've already started, would be my main, that is my main priority. And then the other 2 are, if I have time and I want to start something new, I might start one of those. Does that make sense? That's where those lie. Okay, and then the other readathon that I'm taking part in is March Mystery Madness. I don't really follow the prompts. Because I don't read mysteries as often anymore, I just pick up ones that I would like to get to. I have 4 here as well that are my priority ones of things, just because they're either one's a reread, one's a continuation of an author that I'm trying to get through all her books just because they're fun, and then 2 are new books to me and new authors to me. So I always try to pick a Wendy Webb to read during March Mystery Madness. For some reason, that just kind of works for me. The next one I have that I haven't read yet is The Fate of Mercy Albin. So this one came out a while ago, but it has to do with somebody who her mother's death brings her back to a place that she knew as a kid. A lot of these are slightly paranormal, kind of a little, not straight mysteries, but there's always this mystery of something about the family or the estate of where they're going. So Kitty, oh, Cooper. Anyway, so I do want to read one more of hers. I still have like four of her books I haven't read yet. I'm working my way. Anyway, but this is the next one I would really like to get to. My reread is a Mary Stewart. I really like to pick one up during March. I'd like to pick up more of these because I have read most of her books. I haven't read them all, and I don't know which ones they are anymore because I read them when I was a teenager. My mother and my grandmother loved Mary Stewart, so I have multiple copies from the 70s and 80s of her books. Maybe a few from... I don't know if I have any of the ones from the 60s, but I have a couple of the older ones. But I bought all these new this version a couple of years ago, and I'm just making my way through them chronologically, just because I can. Anyway, so the next one I need to read is my brother Michael, which, from what I remember when I was a teenager, this was my favorite of the Mary Stewart books. It always was. So I'm kind of curious to go back to it because it has been... I don't think I've read it in like 15, 20 years, even though I still think of it as my favorite of the Mary Stewarts. So this one is a woman is in Greece, and she is sitting at this cafe, and somebody comes and says, "Oh, here's the car you ordered." And she's like, "I didn't order a car." And he's like, "Yeah, it said the young lady sitting at this cafe. So to drive to Delphi." So she takes it because she was going to go anyway. She was going to take a bus. But she decides she goes and she takes it. And she is, what I can't remember is if, I think her brother has passed away. And so this is kind of a trip reminding her of that, and other stuff in her life is going on. But she takes the car to Delphi, and then the mysteries just kind of unfold from there. I'm pretty sure it was her brother. I don't know anymore. But she's caught in a whirlwind of deceit and murder. Somebody's brother Michael. Maybe it was the guy's. I don't remember anymore. But she goes to Delphi because she has this car. Anyway, I don't know. I can't remember. That's why it's been so long. So I'll have to reread that. And then I have 2 mystery books that of authors I have not read from. They're both very popular. One is the Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. I think. Anyway, so this is the first in this series, and everybody's been talking about it, so I have been meaning to get to it. And again, it's about some people in their 70s who are friends, kind of friends, I guess, in this murder club in their community, their retirement village, and then somebody dies. And so it's a series. I think there's at least 4 books. I think 3 or 4 books out. So again, I have the first one. I'd like to try that one. And then I'd like to get to The Appeal. One Murder, 15 Suspects. Can You Uncover the Truth by Janice Hadlett. So this one has the it has the different formats. It has emails and other things in it. I've been wanting to try this book since it came out, since I heard about it. I got a copy last year, but I haven't picked it up yet. But I put that on my March Mystery Madness. So again, I will have everybody that I'll put down a few of the co-hosts that I know of for March Mystery Madness. And I will put, again, Jason's for March of the Mammoths. Are you guys doing any readathons? I do not participate in some of the other ones. There's so many in March. March is one of the biggest months. There's a lot of fantasy ones. There's a lot of middle grade ones. There's a lot of other things going on. Irish ones. But I always focus, these are the two that I focus on in March. That's just the way it is. I can only do so much. But these are the ones I really enjoy trying to get to. So if you've read any of these books, let me know which ones you think I should prioritize and make sure I try to get to in March. And let me know which readathons if you're participating in these readathons or other ones, or if there's any book that for sure you want to get to in March. Let me know, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.